stay by your bike lane, please.
Apparently I can't ride my bike down Foothill without being harassed by the police. He stopped me. He asked me questions. When I asked him if I was free to go, he said sure. I got on my bike and started pedaling off. Then he stopped me for riding my bike on the sidewalk. The reason he stopped me was because he hasn't seen me around here, according to him.
Hi.
Hello,
What's your name?
my name's Chris. He has my license right over there, sir.
You asked to speak to a supervisor?
He suggested he was going to call you because he knew that I was upset with the way this conversation was going.
Okay. So is there anything I can help you with as a supervisor?
I'd like to know why I'm being stopped.
Did he tell you were riding a bicycle on the sidewalk?
After, I wasn't riding the bicycle on the sidewalk. I was pushing the bicycle up the hill.
Okay.
He pulled alongside me at the top of the hill.
Okay.
We had a conversation at the top of the hill. And then after the conversation, where I asked him, am I free to go? Can I leave at this point? He said, sure, you can go off. I got on my bike and rolled off, and he pulled alongside and said, now I'm stopping you
Okay.
because you're riding on the sidewalk.
Okay. So is there anything you want to ask of me or you need from me?
I'm just wondering why I'm getting this treatment.
Is
What's
there a reason why
going
Are you
on?
recording?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there a reason why you're recording?
Because I'm curious as to what's going on, and I wanted to record what's happening to me. This is the second time this has happened to me in my neighborhood. I live here. I live right over there.
Did you get a citation before?
I didn't get a citation. I got stopped for no reason before, exactly like this.
Okay. Well, if you have a dispute regarding the citation, that's something you take up with the court.
I haven't even been given a citation at
If
this
you
point.
do get issued a citation.
But the being stopped in the first place was the thing that I had a question with. It was like, I wouldn't have been on the sidewalk. I would have been there, but his car was there. I'm not going to put the bike in front of his car and ride off.
Well, like I said, if it's regarding the reason for the stop,
Yeah.
or
It's regarding the reason for
okay,
the...
the reason for the
well,
stop and the violation are things that are done in the courthouse. If you're going to say,
But sir, being stopped in the first place when I wasn't on the bike, I was not riding, I was doing nothing that was breaking the law, and then I suddenly got asked questions about where I live, whether I have warrants or
Probation?
yeah, and then he asked me and I said, "Is there a reason that you're asking me these questions and not anybody else?" He's like, I can ask these questions all day long. And I'm like, am I free to go? Do I have to answer these questions? Because he wanted to know where I was. He wanted to put down in his system that he'd had a conversation with me, was what he told me. And I'm like, I don't want to be in your system. I don't want to be registered as having a conversation with you. Look, do you understand where I'm coming from here? It struck me as odd that this whole process was taking place on... I'm just coming home from work.
it's not actually that unusual,
Really?
that people get stopped or cited in their own neighborhood. That's where they're at the most. And if they're going to get stopped or cited, they're probably going to get stopped by their own local cops.
For doing what, though? I'm curious what he
violation.
stopped me... I'm curious what he stopped me for in the first
He
place.
said you were riding your bike on the sidewalk.
I wasn't riding my bike on the sidewalk when he stopped me. He came up to me and asked me a question. He's like, "Hey, that hill is pretty high, huh?" I responded, there was nothing wrong with that question. It was when he asked me where I lived and who I was that I was... Why are you asking me these questions?
It's standard. We're going to ask people where they live. Where you headed.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't encounter that anywhere.
It's just casual conversation.
He had out his notebook and was putting things into it. And I was like, am I under arrest? Is there something going on that I've done that's wrong? He said, no. And then I went, am I free to go? He said, yes. I got on the bike and rode away, trying to leave the situation.
That's when you're on your
Then he pulls up and says, "Now I'm stopping." And it's like, wow, is this entrapment? What's going on? I'm trying to get.
You want me to find out if you get the citation or not? Okay, hang on, hang tight.
He also gave me this statement of, "Are you going to be that guy?" And I'm like, "What guy? What do you mean by that?" When I asked him, "Am I free to go? Can I leave?" He's like, "Are you going to be that guy?"
Generally, people don't ask that. It's a very uncommon question because generally people know when they're free to go and when they're not free to go.
Well, I've been made to feel extremely uncomfortable in the place where I pay my taxes and live.
Okay.
That's the way I feel right now. I don't feel very free in.
Well, right now you're not free. You're being detained.
I feel like the situation that led to this agreement and the citation was created by the officer.
Are you saying you forced you on that?
No, I'm saying that the situation was such that I rode on the sidewalk to leave the situation. And if you go up to that corner, there's no ingress onto the road right there. I just was trying to get away as quickly as possible. That was it.
Were you in fear of something?
No, I just didn't like the conversation and how it was going and what was coming up from it. I explained. He asked
What
questions.
do you think was going to happen?
What I think is going on is profile. And what I felt was that this is something that I've had happen before,
Okay.
and I don't like it.
But we don't have any evidence of that.
Well, I'm the only black guy being stopped on the street, and this is the second time that I've been stopped.
You're the only one being stopped right now.
I'm the only one he questioned.
You have no idea what his whole day consisted of.
I don't. I have no idea.
So we're just speculating.
I know, but the thing of it is there's nothing in my demeanor or manner that would have drawn the attention of an officer of the law to pursue beyond
let me ask
saying
you,
hi.
Which part?
And I said hi.
Which parts do you not like? The conversation where he just casually asked you what's going on, how you doing, pretty big hill.
When he said, "You don't, are you going to be that guy?"
And that was during the detention.
No, that was before the detention when I was going to leave. When I asked him, "What do you mean by that?" I asked him, "Can I leave?" Because we got to the point where he was asking for my address and he was asking for all this information. And I was asking why he was asking for the information. He was being cagey about telling me any answers. It was like, I can't get any information, but I'm supposed to give all the information. And I'm like, am I free to go?
Are you familiar with what's called a consensual contact?
I don't know these things.
Consensual contacts is a legal word, legal phrase, where deputies, officers talk to people when they don't have a reason to detain them or arrest them. They just want to talk to people. It's completely legal, completely allowed, completely recognized by the law.
I had no problem speaking with him. It was when he was asking me for information.
That's what they do. That's what they ask. What else are you going to talk to him person about?
Well, he asked me about the hill, and I explained, and I answered. But when he starts asking me where I live, I want to know why, and he wasn't giving me that information.
Okay.
And that's when it became a one-way conversation. You know, I was supposed to give him a bunch of information, and he was not willing to be on the. What ceased being a conversation and became an interrogation, and that's where I felt uncomfortable.
But you realize that you were free to go.
He told me I was free to go until I left, and then he stopped me, making me unfree to go.
He's not obligated to tell you you're free to go, but you were free to go, and he went over and above, letting you know you're free to go. You're not being detained. He actually told you you're free to go.
And that's when I went to leave. And I told you the manner in which I left broke the law. And then the manner in which I left broke the law due to the situation I was
And
in
if
at
you-
the time.
if
He
you
put me in a mood where I just wanted to leave.
Okay. And you realize that if you wouldn't have committed a violation, you'd still be riding away.
It's simple. It's simple. I get that. And I feel like, God, how many times am I going to be persecuted by this? It's time to leave. It's like, I didn't hook that up, but what he meant by being like that. But why wouldn't he tell me? He wouldn't tell me that. He would only tell me,
But that's what you were
"Are you going to
thinking,
be
right?
that guy?" I don't know what he was. I can't. I'm telling you, it's a one-sided conversation. I get no information. That makes me uncomfortable.
My interpretation is that you could be the guy who's going to complain and get upset.
Because I'm just trying to get home. Dude, I'm not breaking in. I'm not causing anybody grief. I'm not hitting anybody.
What kind of bike we got here? Twin? 12 speed?
What it is.
Shimano components? No. Fake Shimano components.
Mr. Richardson, signing you for riding your bike. It's not a mission of guilt, it's a promise to take care of it before November 22nd, 2013. Driver's license back, sir. The website or the telephone number.
Any questions?
Not at all.
If you do me a favor, the violation is actually walk the bike into the street. Yep. All right. You have a safe day, sir.
Yep.